Hi, welcome back to Elements in Focus. I'm Aaron Rheaume, and it is my pleasure to have Grant Soliven, the manager of our advisor team, on the call with me today. Grant, it's such a pleasure. How are you doing this morning?
Oh man, I'm doing well, baby. It is good to be here and we have so much fun on these. And so to start my week off with these recordings with you is absolutely a delight.
Well, great. And it is a pleasure to do these. We have so much fun, as you mentioned. As we're kind of going through our five critical element process, today we're going to talk about legacy planning. And legacy planning is an important piece of the five critical elements. And specifically today, we're going to talk about a trust protector, and you need to get one. And so, Grant, without trying to set this up even more, I'm going to let you roll into what a trust protector is and why you may need one.
Thanks, Aaron. Yeah, I'll definitely carry this baton to the finish line for us. And this is something that we see often in trust planning. And so, first and foremost, if you have estate documents, please update them. Just like the tax code in the investment world, the legacy planning world's always changing. It's never the same 5 years from now to the future, and it's not the same as it was 5 years ago. And so you always have to be updating your estate documents. And one of the key elements in the state of Indiana, at least recently, and across many other states, you are allowed to put what's known as a trust protector in your trust documents. Now, it's not the same individual as a trustee, right? So a successor trustee is going to take over your estate in your trust specifically, who's going to essentially transfer assets, et cetera, accordingly. That's your successor trustee. And I apologize for the oversimplification, but I want to make this snack bite piece of content relatable to us. And the other element is when you go in and you hire a trust protector, that individual has the ability to essentially fire the successor trustee if they're not doing their job well. And so we often see that many families, because they want to keep Thanksgivings protected and they don't want to have their kids fighting over money or their heirs fighting over money, etc., they'll label a bank or an entity as a successor trustee. And let me tell you this, folks, it is really hard to release those entities from their job. And they're very costly, they're expensive. Oftentimes, they don't truly understand the wishes of or the desires of the grantor or the creator of the trust. And so once that bank or that financial institution gets that money, it's impossible to release it or nearly impossible without some egregious work that you have to go to court and fight. A trust protector comes in and has more authority and power to release that successor trustee from their job if they deem it appropriate and worthy. And obviously, again, it can't just be on a whim, but you have more control. And so, especially when because families move, things change. Let's just be honest, some of these financial institutions and banks are not very kind groups of people, and they're often very expensive. It gives the trust protector the ability to hire and fire successor trustees appropriately to help facilitate and manage the longevity of this trust for the heirs going forward. And it's just a layer of protection that you can hand the beneficiaries and this protector to stand in the way of maybe a costly or maybe not as what's the word I want to use? Not as reasonable of a successor trustee as you maybe would have hoped. And so just a layer of protection inside the trust for the trust itself. And if you haven't got one in your trust, get one. And again, that can be one individual, three individuals. Oftentimes, we recommend more than one so that we have a council together. And again, lots of stuff going on here. And I'll also say this, Aaron, we're not attorneys. Okay, so we don't play them on the show, we don't play them on the radio. We're not attorneys. So obviously, you're gonna have to talk to with an attorney to dive into that deeper. And if you're looking for those conversations, please let us know. Right, we have our trust division that's fully enforced and working for our families now, and we have access to those attorneys that you can have a communication with and start reviewing those documents and evaluating if trust protector is right for you.
Grant, thank you for going through that in detail. The trust protector is an important piece of trusts. So, as Grant mentioned early on, if you haven't reviewed or at least looked at your trust in a number of years, you're going to want to have that reviewed to make sure the language is still updated and current, and make sure that your wishes are still exactly what you want them to be inside of your trust. So if you have questions or you'd like your trust reviewed, please reach out to us. You can call us at 800-928-4001, schedule a next steps meeting that's complimentary. If you have questions, you can email them to us at talktofeg@yourlifeafterwork. And more importantly, if you want to dig deeper into our content, you can find us on Consider This Program through those podcasts listed below, and then also on our radio segments throughout the week on those radio shows that are listed below. Again, thank you so much for listening and watching Grant and I. This is truly a pleasure to be able to do this with you folks. And if you do have questions, please reach out to us. Have a great week.